Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing great today. I want to talk to you about something that changed my English learning journey completely. And it's not grammar books, it's not expensive courses, and it's not even studying for hours. It's something much more powerful: real daily life English practice. You see, for many people, English is just a subject, something they study for exams or to pass interviews. But for me, I realized one day that if I wanted to speak English naturally, confidently, and fluently, I had to live with English, not just learn it. I had to make English part of my daily routine. And that's what today's video is all about: how you can practice real English every single day in your normal daily life without needing to move to another country or spend tons of money. Now, I live in the United States, in a small but beautiful city called Portland, Oregon. And when I came here, my English wasn't very good. I understood words, but I couldn't speak naturally. I was nervous, I hesitated, and I often translated everything from my native language in my head. But slowly, through small daily actions, I changed that. I didn't study more. I lived more in English. In this video, I'll share everything: how I practiced English while shopping in a grocery store, how I used English while ordering food at a restaurant, how I improved my listening while watching local news, how I built confidence by talking to strangers, and even how I practiced English alone at home. This video is going to be like a friendly conversation between us. Imagine we're sitting in a coffee shop and I'm just sharing my story and experience with you. By the end, you'll understand how to turn your normal life into your English classroom. A real, living classroom where every activity, every person, and every word becomes your practice. But before we dive into it, I want to ask you two questions. First, do you practice English daily or only when you have time? Second, what's the hardest part for you? Speaking, listening, or thinking in English? Please tell me your answers in the comments box below. I'd love to read your experiences. All right, let's begin. When people hear practice English daily, they often imagine sitting with books, watching long grammar lessons, or repeating difficult vocabulary. But real English practice isn't about that. It's about using English, not studying it. Think about how children learn their first language. They don't study grammar first. They listen, repeat, make mistakes, and learn from what they hear and see every day. That's how we learned our mother tongue, right? So why not learn English the same way? When I first started living in the US, I decided to practice English through every activity. For example, when I went to the grocery store, I didn't just buy vegetables. I practiced English. When I went for a morning walk, I didn't just listen to music. I listened to English podcasts. When I cleaned my room, I didn't just think about cleaning. I described what I was doing in English. Every small thing became an opportunity. Let's go through them one by one. I'll share what I did, what mistakes I made, and how I turned ordinary moments into English learning moments. Part 2. Morning Routine. Start your day in English. Your day begins in the morning, right? So why not start your English there? When I wake up, the first thing I do is talk to myself in English. It may sound funny, but self-talk is one of the most powerful tools. I say things like, "All right, it's 7 a.m., time to get up. Let me brush my teeth. I'm feeling lazy today, but I have to go for a walk." I describe everything I do, like narrating my life in English. When I'm brushing my teeth, I think, "I'm brushing my teeth. I need to buy new toothpaste when I'm making breakfast. Let's make some scrambled eggs. I'll toast the bread and pour a glass of orange juice." These small sentences help you think directly in English. You're not studying grammar. You're living in English. Then, during breakfast, I often watch a short YouTube video or listen to a podcast, something in English, but interesting. For example, I listen to English Learning with Real Stories or Everyday English Conversation. That way, I hear native pronunciation and expressions. Even if I don't understand every word, I try to catch the main idea. That's important, because in real life, you don't need to understand everything. You just need to understand enough. After breakfast, I check my schedule for the day. I think in English, I have a meeting at 10 a.m., or I need to go shopping today. If you use a planner or a notes app, write your plans in English. This is how you start your day fully in English. Part 3. Practicing English outside, grocery store and daily errands. Now let's go outside. When I first moved to the US, one of the scariest places for me was the grocery store. Not because of the food, but because I had to talk to people. I was afraid the cashier might say something I didn't understand. But that's exactly where I learned the most natural English. Here's how I practiced. Before leaving home, I made a shopping list in English. For example, bread, eggs, milk, apples, chicken breast toothpaste. Then I practiced sentences I might use. Excuse me, where can I find the milk section? How much is this? Do you have this in a smaller size? Can I pay with card? These are real daily English phrases. At first, I was nervous to speak, but I realized people here are friendly. They don't judge you for your accent. They appreciate when you try. Once at Safeway, a local supermarket, I asked an employee, "Excuse me, where is the brown rice?" He smiled and said, "Aisle 7 next to the pasta." I thanked him and repeated in my mind, "Aisle 7 next to the pasta." That's how I remembered new words like aisle, pasta section, checkout counter. After paying, the cashier asked, "Would you like a bag?" At first, I didn't understand, so I said, "Sorry?" She repeated, and I learned. In the US, you need to say yes or no to getting a bag. Next time, I replied naturally, "Yes, please." These small moments, they're not lessons from a book. They're lessons from life, and they teach you faster than any grammar rule ever could. Part 4. Speaking English at restaurants and cafes. Let's talk about restaurants, one of the best places to practice real English. I remember one day I went to a cafe in Portland called The Morning Cup. It was a cozy place with soft music and friendly people. I was nervous, but I told myself, today I'll speak only in English. When the waiter came, I said, "Hi, could I have a cappuccino, please?" Then he asked, "Would you like any flavor or milk options?" At first I hesitated. Then I said, "Uh, regular milk is fine. And can I also get a blueberry muffin?" He smiled. "Sure. Anything else?" I said, "That's it, thank you." It was such a simple conversation, but it boosted my confidence a lot. Later I started adding small talk. "How's your day going?" Or, "This place is really nice." That's how you connect with people naturally. You don't need to talk long. Just one or two friendly lines can improve your fluency. When I sat with my coffee, I listened to people around me. How they ordered, what expressions they used. I learned phrases like, "Can I get that to go?" for takeout. Asterisk, I'll have the same. Do you guys have any non-dairy options? Listening to real conversations is the most practical classroom you can ever find. Part 5. At work or school. Practicing English with people. If you're studying or working in the US, you already have a golden opportunity to practice daily. When I started working at a small marketing company in Oregon, I had to attend meetings, reply to emails, and talk to colleagues, all in English. It was tough in the beginning, but I made a rule. Never stay silent because of fear. If I didn't understand something, I politely said, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Or, "Can you explain that a little more?" I also practiced writing short professional messages. "Thank you for your help. I'll send you the file by evening. Let's schedule a meeting tomorrow." When my coworkers talked about weekend plans, I joined the conversation. "Oh, really? That sounds fun." Or, "I went hiking last weekend too." Part 6. Practicing English alone at home. Let's be honest. Not everyone has people around them who speak English. Many learners tell me, "Alex, I live alone," or "My family doesn't speak English. How can I practice?" Well, let me tell you something powerful. You don't need people all the time to practice English. You can create your own English environment at home. When I was living in my apartment in Portland, I used to spend a lot of time alone. But I didn't waste that time. I practiced English in creative ways. Here's what I did. 1. Talk to yourself in English. I spoke to myself while cooking, cleaning, or organizing my desk. I'd say things like, "Okay, I need to boil the water first. Let me chop the onions. Oops, I burned the toast again." Talking to yourself builds fluency. It helps you think directly in English instead of translating. 2. Record your voice. Sometimes I recorded myself talking about my day. For example, today I went to work. It was a busy day. I met my friend Jake at lunch. We talked about movies. Then I listened to my own recording. It felt weird at first, but it helped me notice pronunciation mistakes and repeated phrases. 3. Watch and imitate. I watched short clips from shows like Friends, The Office, and Modern Family. I didn't just watch for fun. I imitated the characters. When Joey said, "How you doing?" I repeated it with the same tone and smile. When Monica said, "I'm so tired of cleaning," I copied her expression. This shadowing method improved my pronunciation and rhythm a lot. 4. Think in English before sleeping. Before going to bed, I replayed my day in my mind. In English. I woke up at 7. I made coffee. I went to work. I learned something new. It's a quiet but powerful exercise. It trains your mind to think naturally in English. Part 7. Using your phone and social media in English. Your phone can be your best English teacher, if you use it smartly. I changed my phone language to English. So instead of settings or parameters, I saw settings. At first it was confusing, but soon I started learning everyday tech vocabulary naturally. Screenshot, brightness, storage, notification. I also followed English-speaking creators on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. But I didn't just scroll, I interacted. When someone posted a video, I commented in English. When I liked something, I wrote, "This was amazing," or "I totally agree." That's real writing practice, quick and natural. On WhatsApp or Messenger, I challenged myself to text friends in English. Even if they replied in another language, I stayed in English. Social media is full of real-life English, short, modern, and natural. You learn expressions like, "What's up?" "That's hilarious." "I'm down for it." "Can't wait." If you pay attention, your vocabulary grows fast. Part 8. Talking to strangers. Small talk. Practice. One of the biggest fears English learners have is speaking to strangers. But in the US, small talk is a normal part of daily life. When I lived in Portland, I practiced small talk everywhere, in coffee shops, parks, and stores. At the park, someone might say, "Nice weather today, huh?" Instead of just smiling, I'd reply, "Yeah, it's beautiful. Finally some sunshine after all that rain." At the bus stop, I'd say, "I think the bus is running late again." People laughed and replied, "Yeah, that's Portland for you." These little interactions built my confidence more than any textbook could. You can start with easy phrases. "How's your day going?" "I like your jacket." "Is this your first time here?" People in the US love friendly talk. You just need to start. Part 9. Practicing English through listening. Listening is the heart of language. If you don't listen enough, you can't speak naturally. Here's how I improved my listening. 1. Podcasts. I listen to podcasts like All Ears English and ESL Pod. I listened while walking, driving, or cooking. Even if I didn't understand every word, I didn't stop the audio. I focused on the general meaning. Over time, my ears got used to different accents and speeds. 2. Movies and shows. When I watched Friends, I kept subtitles on first. Then, after I understood the scene, I replayed it without subtitles. That trained my ears. 3. Local news and radio. Listening to local U.S. news helped me understand formal and everyday English. Words like breaking news, forecast, traffic update became part of my vocabulary. Listening is like planting seeds. You may not see results immediately, but slowly your brain absorbs patterns, tone, and rhythm. Satr. Part 10. Reading in English. Every day, reading isn't just for studying. It's a daily English workout for your brain. Every morning, I read something short in English, sometimes a news article, sometimes a blog. When I started, I didn't choose difficult material. I read what interested me. Travel blogs about visiting New York City food recipes, personal stories. When you read topics you enjoy, your mind stays active. Here's what helped me. I highlighted new words. I guessed their meaning from context. I checked pronunciation using Google Translate's audio. I wrote 1 or 2 sentences using that word. Example, new word, delicious. Sentence, this coffee tastes delicious. That's how vocabulary becomes part of your natural speech. Part 11. Writing for real life. Many learners ignore writing, but writing helps you think clearly in English. I started writing small journal entries every night. Something like, "Today was a great day." I met my friend Emily. We went to a new restaurant in downtown Portland. The food was amazing. You don't need to write essays. Just describe your day, your thoughts, or your plans. Later, I also started writing reviews on Google Maps. Short comments like, "The food here was great and the staff were friendly." That's writing practice too. You can also write captions for your photos on Instagram in English. Even one line counts. Enjoying my weekend with friends. The goal is not perfection. It's consistency. Part 12. Thinking in English. Thinking in English is the ultimate step toward fluency. At first, I used to translate everything. If I wanted to say, "I'm hungry," I thought of it in my language, then converted it. It took time and made me slow. So I started small. I trained my mind by asking simple questions in English. What should I eat? Where are my keys? What time is it? Later, I described things in English around me. The sky looks cloudy. That car is red. She's wearing a blue jacket. Over time, English became automatic. Here's a tip. Don't be afraid of mistakes in your thoughts. Nobody is listening. Just think freely. Part 13. Real Conversations with Neighbors. I used to live in an apartment building where my neighbor, Mrs. Johnson, was a kind old lady. She loved gardening. One day I saw her watering her plants and said, "Your garden looks beautiful." She smiled and said, "Thank you. Do you like flowers?" That small line started a 10-minute conversation. We talked about the weather, plants, and weekends. Later, whenever we met in the hallway, she'd say, "Hey Alex, how's work going?" Simple, daily interactions. That's real-life practice. You can also practice by talking to delivery people, mail carriers, or receptionists. Even saying, "Have a nice day," or "Thank you so much," builds natural rhythm and confidence. Part 14. Using daily surroundings to learn. Wherever you are, your surroundings can teach you English. When I walked around the city, I read every signboard, poster, and advertisement. I noticed how words were used. Buy one, get one free. Sale ends Sunday. No parking zone. That's real practical English. I also paid attention to conversations in coffee shops or buses. I didn't eavesdrop rudely, but I listened casually to how people greeted each other. "Hey, what's up?" "Not much, just grabbing a coffee." You can learn more from 10 minutes of real listening than 1 hour of grammar drills. Part 15. Staying consistent and motivated. Now here's the truth. Learning English through daily life takes time. There's no shortcut, but it's 100% possible if you stay consistent. There were days I felt tired, days when I made mistakes and felt embarrassed. But I reminded myself, every small effort counts. If you practice English 15 minutes a day, listening, reading, or speaking, you're improving. Even if progress feels slow, it's happening. Here's what helped me stay motivated. I celebrated small wins, like successfully ordering coffee or understanding a new phrase. I watched my old videos to see my progress. I made English fun through songs, movies, and friends. The more you enjoy it, the faster you learn. Atarterenni. Part 16. The Power of Daily English Immersion. Daily immersion means surrounding yourself with English 24/7. It's not just about speaking English at work or school. It's about making English part of your life. Listen to English while cooking. Read English signs while walking. Watch English before sleeping. Even if you live in a non-English country, you can create your own English world. Change your environment, not by moving countries, but by changing habits. Nar. Part 17. The Real Reward of Daily Practice. After 1 year of living this way, my English transformed. I didn't become perfect, but I became confident. I could express my thoughts easily, understand jokes, and join any conversation. One day at a friend's party, someone said, "Alex, your English sounds so natural." That was the best compliment I ever received, because it wasn't from studying books. It was from living in English. And that's what I want for you too. Conclusion. My dear friends, if you truly want to speak English fluently, stop waiting for the perfect course, teacher, or time. Start today. Start small. Start with your life. Turn your morning routine, your phone, your work, your hobbies into English practice. Remember, you don't learn English by studying hard. You learn it by living it every day. Now, before we end, let me ask you again. How do you practice English in your daily life? Which part of your day do you think helps you the most? Morning, work, or evening? Please share your answers in the comments below. I love reading your stories. They inspire others too. And don't forget, your daily life is your best English classroom. Thank you for watching and being with me till the end. Keep practicing, keep smiling,